Hello YouTube, we're going to make a stove grate for the stove. This is what we're using. It's kind of a little too tough for this little vise. It wants to spin on the desk here. I suppose we could put a clamp here so it quits trying to turn, but this stuff is tough. You find this at dollar type stores. You ever see them things you hang over your shower? You know your shower piece comes out of the wall and they hang that thing and put your soap and bottles and all that? That's what this is off of, and this stuff is tough. But for $1 or a couple bucks, you get a lot of material. So that's one way to get material like this. You just walk through them dollar type stores. You don't have to have that tool. You can slowly wrap this around a pipe. Remember, it's a grate. It doesn't have to be permanent. This thing ain't going to be perfectly round. The trouble is, the way we built this stove, the air has to go to the grate. So this grate's got to set right on top of that. Well, that don't leave much for the ashes not to fall out. See that? Get that away. That don't leave much lip right there. But that's how we built it. I don't know what we were thinking, but this can be used mostly for charcoal. I mean, I suppose I could put the grate underneath, but I'm thinking a way to make this come around, right? And have a bar go right across the top of here and spot weld it so it stays in there. So we want it to stay in there. We don't want it to come out. Like the bottom, it's never going to come off. So one of my viewers asked why I don't want to braise this. Well, it looked nasty. I don't like the look of that brazing. I thought about finish welding inside, even though it's that nasty. And another thing, it will warp. This was really warping really bad. I mean, I don't want to show you, but if you looked at this on the side, this side is pulled in more. Because it warped the whole stuff. And by the time I got done spot welding, it was too late to try to, like I said, it's just a stove. Here's my handle. One hand this. I think you know what I mean. I don't have to get it close. See that? You've seen these before. I just used a little shell on here. This was hard to bend. I bent it cold. It's also has to move. I maybe should have heated it. You ever have a door in your house like that? Tell me that you do. That thing will never stay closed. It always swings open. Or one that never stays open, you have to have a door stop. But how the old house, it always wants to close itself. Okay, we yacked it up. Let's build this and see what it looks like. Let's just get you caught up on what the stove looks like. Or people that's never seen it before. Okay, bear with me with this one-handed turn of the camera. Can you see my objective? That's just inside the door frame. Because you can't make it round and stick out there. There. And then put my rungs on top. Like I said, the air box is underneath. Most of my fire will be built at the back. I'll be trying to build it at the back. But you see right where I cut it right there? A little bit of metal working to make it straight. And this is smaller than the thing, so we can get it out of there, see? You don't want to have it crammed in there. Where's that spot where I'm going to braise it? There, I got it cut just right. In fact, that little gap will help it. Now, this is chrome plated. Wear a mask. Blah, 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 all that safety stuff. I'll have a mask on, and I've got my place opened up here where I'm setting, and I can get fresh air from outside, because it is right about 60 degrees outside. We're not using any heaters right now, so we'll be back when this is brazed and we get a few rungs on this thing. We're trying to decide if we run the rungs this way, you know, or this way. We haven't decided, so we're not committed. Okay, real quick, I want to show you how we're holding this and brazing it. Once we get one end brazed, we'll go ahead and cut it with our little mini bolt cutters. So we're cutting them to fit. We decide to run them this way because stuff gets caught. You try to shove the sticks in the stove when they're this way, across the corn rows. Until I've been around farming. This way it'll slide in better. You know what I mean? Back to work. Okay, we are done building the grate. It wasn't too much work. We have to do a little work in here. Can you see that where the weld is? This thing must have expanded a little bit because I gotta do some grinding in there to get this to fit. Yeah, I don't know if I showed it or not, but this squared off part is gonna fit right down here. We may put some legs in the back, you know, so it can't fall down in the back. But we thought about just reaching there and spot welding it. We haven't made up our mind yet. Get in frame. Maybe like 2 little spot welds in there. Just to hold it in there, because it's never going to come out. And we just did some, we got a piece of metal, flat metal, we hammered on it, so we know nothing's going to break. We hammered on it with our little hammer, machinist hammer, so just straighten it out. So we tested that way, plus we cleaned it up. That way you can look at it. Now let's flitz it. I'm just kidding. He spent all day flitzing that just to put it in the stove and burn it. You know what this looks like? Let me stand it up here and get something. Think about it. Early 20s, midget racing car, Bugatti. You ever watch Jay Leno's channel? I'll give him a free plug. I don't get notified like I should be. I'm sub to him. I don't get the little bell thing here and that, and I have to just go hunt. That's what it looks like. A little Bugatti race car. To me it does. Anyway, or one of them little, oh, I can't think of his name right now. It was a Model T when they used to race them on a stock car track, and they make their own little front nose. They almost had the thing look like your guard on your football helmet. You know, all the grill work. Something similar. Let your imagination run wild. Okay, let's get this to fit in there. We'll take you a picture before we go when we got it fit down in there. So stay tuned. Okay, it fits better. Had to grind a little bit out there. Where you can see that. Sometime we'll spot weld it. There you go. I fought this door for many days. And it was one of the last things I put on. So you gotta think of that. I always say put the bottom on so it'll fall over, but the door should probably be your last. Take it back off. You hate to take it back off because you cut them screws like that. I couldn't get the nuts started on the ones that were cut off. So I'm not going to do it 3 times. But there you go. We'll spot weld there sometimes so it does not fall. If you tap down on the back a little too far, it will eventually fall down. It's just snug in there. So thanks for watching. Look for all the pictures.